Let's move to a couple teams who are going to be in the Big 12 next season in the AAC right now. Cincinnati, UCF, close to a pick'em here. Cincinnati right now, if you're going by the AP poll anyway, has the best shot to get to a New Year's Six game out of the group of five.
Yeah, look, I think when you match up these two teams, they're pretty evenly matched. I mean, they're two of the tops in the AAC, the way they look at least statistically speaking. But John Rice Plumlee, to me, has been one of the best players in college football. We probably don't give enough credit to and talk about him. He's a legitimate threat running the football. This passing game has improved since his time at Ole Miss, where Lane Kiffin basically was able to move on from him for not being able to throw the football more effectively. And if you look at Cincinnati last week, had complete control over SMU. They allowed them to sneak in to cover that game, make it really close in the end in the back door, even after Tanner Mordecai was knocked out of that game. So bottom line here is I'll go ahead and take the point here in UCF, but I think they win this one outright.
I'm with you on this one, too. Same side. John Rice Plumlee, I had their game against FAU, and I talked to Gus Malzahn, and he felt like he was really close to Nick Marshall. You remember the success they had at Auburn with Nick Marshall, went to an SEC title. And except he's a better passer, but he is extremely athletic. He was a two-sport athlete at Ole Miss. Shoot, he was playing wide receiver at Ole Miss. The thing is, he is pretty hot or cold, and that loss to East Carolina, he had his worst game so far, 3 interceptions. But I think you get a big bounce back from him, and I also think you get a commitment more to the run. He only rushed for 38 yards against East Carolina. I think they'll utilize his legs. I mean, their offense is built on a quarterback who can run, and if you get stuck having to pass it all the time, you're going to be in a bind, and they got into that falling behind East Carolina, and that's where they got into a little bit of trouble. Cincinnati on the hand, love Luke Fickell, love what he's doing at that program. Love the success they had last year and early this season, but they're not the same. They're still in a little bit of a developmental year. I mean, they lost 9 guys in the NFL draft, and Ben Bryant's been a nice quarterback, but he's nowhere near to where Desmond Ridder was, and the defense isn't as dominant. They had a tight game with South Florida, who's not very good. You mentioned them letting SMU back in the game, where SMU had an onside kick away from potentially getting one more possession to win that game. So I think UCF, playing at the bounce house, has a big bounce back after that loss against East Carolina, which might have been a look-ahead game for them too, circling this one on there. So I like UCF with the point and to win the game.
All right, bounce house, bounce back for UCF in this one, and the guys are in agreement on that, and a few other games in the Big 12 as well. Lock Unity on West Virginia plus 7.5 and under 68. Well, they both like Kansas State minus 1.5 at home against Oklahoma State as well.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.